Welcome to the Lenormand Lovers STL, where you can learn how to read Lenormand cards for yourself. They are my favorite oracle card. They're very, very intuitive and incredibly accurate. So this series of videos is going to help you learn how to combine two cards together. And that is the beginning of learning how to read them, read the story that's in them. So you should have originally watched the first video, which is Spirit Vocabulary, where we go through each card and assign a one-word descriptor to the card that resonates for you. I have my own list. You're going to want yours. This series of videos, there should be 36 here, is where we're going to go through the cards and combine them together. We'll start with the Rider card and combine Rider with each of the other 35 cards, coming up with a two-word combination for that match. We'll do that for each of the 36 cards. So if you've already watched this video for another one of the cards, you can just skip in 6 minutes or so and start right in the middle, and it'll address the card that was written on the very front of the video. So all right, we're going to get started with our two card combinations. I'm going to share my screen with you. All righty. What are Lenormand cards? Lenormand cards are named after Mademoiselle Lenormand, a French professional fortune teller of considerable fame who lived during Napoleon's time. Mademoiselle Lenormand is considered to be the greatest cartomancer of all time, highly influential during the wave of French cartomancy that began during the 18th century. She didn't create the cards, but became famous for using them to read for her clients, as will you become famous when you learn how to read the cards. The 36 card deck is simple. It's illustrated with fairly concrete literal meanings and is known as Petit Lenormand. As with all fortune-telling vehicles, these are to be used for fun and as a form of entertainment and are not to rule our lives. We are all born with free will that we need to exercise when making daily decisions. So why Lenormand cards? They're very straightforward. Each symbol represents an object, a person, an idea, and it speaks directly to each one of us. We use our own personal symbol vocabulary or spirit vocabulary to tell the story that shows up in the cards. There are only 36 cards that are anchored in simplicity, making the foundation work to prepare to read the Lenormand cards very easy to grasp. And the deck size is usually small, like a deck of playing cards, and easy to handle. So the benefits of reading Lenormand. Working with the Lenormand cards will strengthen your connection to your intuition. Being so easy to read, Lenormand cards will strengthen your confidence in your reading skills very quickly. They can show you the direction you're heading in any situation, and it's up to you to stay this course or to make changes. The cards serve as a messenger from your higher consciousness. And these cards are eerily accurate and can give you a glimpse of your future, helping you to prepare and manage your life. So here are some resources. There are many different books out there in the marketplace that can help you on your journey to master reading Lenormand cards. And I have chosen to use the following. The book I use is The Essential Lenormand by Rana George. The tools don't get any better than what Rana has listed here in the book. Each card gets 2 to 3 pages of very specific information. There's lots of different card spreads, and it's a wealth of information. So this is the book that I recommend for you. Now, the card decks that I use 2. In the videos, I'm going to be using the Dreaming Way Lenormand. I just love these cards. The artwork is amazing, very easy to grasp, very, very pretty. The other deck, well, actually the deck that I learned on is the Blue Owl deck. Very specific back. These are pretty straightforward as well. Like that's a bouquet. Here's an anchor, very, very straightforward. But you can use whatever deck speaks to you. These are always available on Amazon, but you can also check with a local bookstore if you want to support business in your neighborhood. So I studied under a very talented teacher for several years, building my reading skills, and this led to my reading for the public in 2017. Choose what speaks to you from these videos and from the books, and leave the rest. There are no real hard and fast rules. Some decks come with extra cards that reflect a different view of the card. For example, I have a deck where there's 2 men and 2 women. One's a young man, an older man, a young woman, an older woman. One of the decks I have has multiple birds in it. Might be owls versus crows. So pick the card that speaks to you and then leave the other one out. You don't need to have 2 men and 2 women. It'll start getting really, really confusing. Oh, the other resource I'm going to tell you about, so when we did the spirit vocabulary, you came up with your one word combinations for letters. Not combination, spirit vocabulary. I have put together a whole spirit vocabulary PDF that I am happy to let you download. But I'm telling you, these are my 2-word combinations. So they may not speak to you. You have to have your own. But if your words happen to line up with mine, then you can use it. So anyway, that's down below. You can download that. Alrighty. So there are some previous videos on here, moving through each of the 36 cards. Building your spirit vocabulary is the foundation for reading these cards. There are no set rules, and practice, practice, practice is the key to your experience. So the 2 card combinations, they're read in pairs, coming together to create a prediction that tells the story or answers the question that was asked. Now, learning these 2 cards is just the foundation. From there, we'll add a 3rd card. From there, we'll spring to 5 cards, then to 7 cards, then a 9-card block, then many, many other different layouts, and finally the grand tableau. So there's all kinds of ways to read these cards, but it all hinges on you being able to read, when this card comes up next to this card, this is what it means for me. So the symbols will flow together to give clarity about the past and give a glimpse of the future. Combining cards helps us blend the story of the cards, stringing the cards together to make a coherent statement. So we're going to start by looking at the first card as the subject of the 2-card reading, and the second card as a description that modifies it, or a noun as the first card and the adjective as the second card. So just as a refresher, noun identifies a class of people, places, or things, and the adjective is a word or phrase that describes the noun to modify it. Alrighty, so we're getting ready to start. Alrighty. Don't forget to download your handouts and print out the handout for this exercise. Check your settings before you print, because this is a large 36-page document and you might want to print it double-sided. You can pause the recording and do that now. And then there are links below the video for the Lenormand card combination blank PDF. You'll only need to print this once and you'll use it for each of the 36 videos. So how to use this handout. We're going to take one word that symbolizes the meaning of each card in the Lenormand deck that you came up with in the exercise of spirit vocabulary. You're going to put that into the printout next to the card it represents in the column marked 1. For example, if we start with writer, you'll list for writer what your word was. For me, it was messenger. So messenger goes in the column 1 all the way down. Then what we're going to do is marry up each of the other 35 cards. So we're going to take writer plus clover. We'll put in what clover means, so lucky, and then we combine them together. We have messenger and lucky. We have a lucky message coming our way. So this will give you your 2-word combinations for each of your cards. I'm going to stop sharing at this time and move on to a different handout. Today we're going to talk about the card birds, number 12, two birds. So grab your paper and we'll get started. So first I'd like to say that birds for me is two people talking. It could be therapy, could be life coaching, could be two people, friends getting together, but it can also be gossip. And sometimes when it's married up with other cards, it's pretty apparent that it's gossip, but I don't always go right to gossip as my first symbol for the birds. All right, so let's get your list out and we'll get started. So I have left in what this means for me, my individual words, and then we'll just put in the blended story. So the birds and the writer. So birds is talking or gossip, and then the writer is news. The writer can also be somebody new coming into the picture. So I feel like this is probably a card related, married up together with gossip. So I'm going to say this is news of gossip. Somebody coming to you saying, I heard that Betty Lou said this about you, kind of thing. All right. Now the next one is with Clover. So talking and then luck. I'm going to say it's a good conversation. It's hard to type and talk at the same time for me. So now we have travel. So we have people talking and then we have travel. So this could be definitely along the lines of chatting with someone about a trip. Maybe this is someone you met on your trip. Now we have people talking and home. So this wouldn't be gossip about home. I think this would be a discussion about the home or family. Then we have the tree. So talking, two people talking, and health. So this is talking about health. Maybe it's a meeting with the doctor and you're going to discuss, a treatment plan or something. Clouds and talking. I would say this is a confusing conversation. Now the snake and the birds, this would be danger and then talking. So this would not be a good conversation. So this could be a pretty harsh conversation. Then we have endings, the coffin. So the coffin, endings and talking. So talk of death. Somebody could be very, very ill, or you've just heard that someone's passed away, or any kind of conversation about endings. It could even be about a relationship, or I'm telling you that I've lost my job, type of thing. So the bouquet is a gift. It's a very good thing. So I would say this is a good conversation. And again, that can be related to you had a great therapy session, a great life coaching session, met my girlfriend for coffee, we had a great time. Good conversation. Or if you want to think about gossip, just got some really good gossip about something. All right, but I try to think of things at a more positive level. So now we have the side, which is sudden or sharp, and then talking. So I'm going to say this could be related to gossip. I'm going to say it's sharp words about something. Now we have talking and the whip is repetitive or argument. So I'm going to say this is an argument. We have talking and a child. So a new conversation or a small conversation. So this could just be chit chat, idle chit chat with someone. Maybe you're on the subway or something. And now we have the fox, which is sneaky or about your job. So I'm going to say this is gossip at work. Gossip at work with the water cooler. Did you hear what they're doing over in the accounting department kind of thing? And then we have the bear. And the bear can be, for me, it's usually about business, but when you read the book, it can be about business, finances, even your diet. So I'm going to just say a business meeting between two people. Now we have dreams, stars. So wishes and dreams and talking. And I'm going to say this is, this can also be about your inner GPS and your North Star, following your purpose. So I'm going to say this is a great conversation about your dreams. So convo about dreams. Of course, I don't know how to spell. Now we have the stork, and the stork is about transitions. It could also be about a baby. So this could be talking about the baby that's coming, but I'm going to say it's talk of change. Now the dog is your loyal friend and talking. So this could be, you know, a conversation with your BFF. And then we have the tower, which is any multi-level thing. It shows you a tall tower. So this could be government, insurance company, hospital stuff, your business, depending on how big the company is that you work for, legal stuff. So let's say a conversation with your lawyer. Of course, it can be so much more than that. Now, birds and the garden. So this is great. Gardens are about gathering. So I would say this was a networking event. So you're talking with lots of different people in a group. The next card is the mountain, 21. It's about delays. It's about obstacles and talking. So I'm going to say this is a hard conversation. Then we have the crossroads. So crossroads is multiple, it's options, choices. So with birds, so talking about choices, I'm going to say it's lots of options on who you want to talk to. Now the mice is about distress and diminishing, and then the birds. So I would say maybe a dwindling conversation. Now the heart, which is about love and talking. This could be pillow talk. That could be fun, huh? Or just a really heart-centered conversation with someone. Now we have the ring, which is commitment and two people talking. I'm going to say this is a proposal. It could be any kind of conversation. It could be a business dealing. It could be a verbal commitment to a contract. So that proposal could also be a business proposal. Now the book is secret knowledge, possibly a project or even education. So it's I'm going to say it's an educational talk. Now we have the letter, which is written conversation and talking. So maybe you're talking about something that you read in the paper, something you read online. It could even be someone reading at a bookstore doing, you know how they have authors come and read from their new book. So I'm going to say reading out loud. Now we have talking and the man. So he could be a newscaster, something like that. Now we have a woman who's talking. She could maybe be a salesperson. The next card is Lily, which is peace and tranquility. So I'm going to say a peace and tranquility with talking. How about a meditation? Now we have the Sun, which is success and talking. So a successful talk, I want to say this could be someone singing your praises. You've done something well. A good talk. The Moon is about emotions. So it could be an emotional conversation. It's also psychic. So maybe you got your cards read. Now we have the key. The key is the solution, the key that unlocks the door. So I'm going to say like brainstorming solutions out loud with someone else. Now we have the Fish, which is about abundance and resources and two people talking. I want to say abundant conversation. Maybe you're at a big group event, lots of people talking. It could also mean, you know, maybe plenty of money. So then we have security with the anchor, security and talking. This could be a therapy session where you're talking over the things that are worrying you and you leave feeling secure for after the conversation. The last card is the Cross, which is all about burdens and then talking. So I'm going to say talking about what weighs heavy on your heart. All righty, that is the Bird. So I'm not going to go through any more cards on this particular video. You can continue on your own. You know how this works now. You take your spirit vocabulary for each word and marry them together. Or you can wait and go through each of the videos. The handouts are all down below in the description, the links to them. And let's see, my gift to you is the whole list of 2-card combinations, but again, they're my spirit vocabulary and they may not resonate with you. I really do encourage you to do this work for yourself. But anyway, all the links are down below. So my next steps are I'm going to be putting together quite a few different videos showing you how to read 3-card, 5-card, 7-card, 9 cards, and then eventually the grand tableau. And I hope that you'll join me with these videos. In the meantime, if you have any questions, drop me an email at sue@piper of Purpose. I won't analyze your reading, but I can help you think through with your spirit vocabulary and figure out how to make it make sense for you. In the meantime, I am super proud of you for doing this work. It's just amazing, and it really speaks to my heart. And it always helps to have a way to get the answers that you seek. All right, I've enjoyed our time together, and the next card will be 13.